Hello, today I want to talk a little bit about a mushroom, jelly ear fungus. So I've got some here growing along this dead branch. It's a great fungus to know about, especially if you're just starting out on your foraging adventures, for a number of reasons. So, number one, you're going to find this most of the year. It is available pretty much throughout. Might disappear if it's a very, very cold snap. But in general, whatever time of year you're likely to be able to find this. Now, at the moment, these are fairly well hydrated. So whilst I'm saying you can find them most of the year, in particularly dry spells, what they tend to do is kind of dehydrate and they shrivel up, and that it might end up maybe a quarter of that size, and it goes a much darker colour, almost black. But nonetheless, it is still going to be pretty straightforward to spot. Second thing about it, it's quite easy to actually identify, to recognise. Its name's a big clue. It's called jelly ear fungus. So if you find something that looks kind of ear shaped and it feels like jelly, it's a very good chance that you found jelly ear. Third thing that it makes this mushroom worth knowing about is that it is nutritious. So a lot of mushrooms, whilst they might taste pretty good, they don't have a lot of nutritional value. Jelly ear fungus here contains all of our B vitamins. It contains vitamin C, contains carbs, protein. We've got phosphorus, calcium, potassium, magnesium, selenium. There's a whole bunch of useful things in here for us. In terms of what you want to do with them when it comes to cooking, so they're used, first up, they're used a lot in cooking in Asia, in China. So if you go to the Chinese restaurant and you have a hot and sour soup, the little crunchy bits you get in that are this. So we tend to use it quite often in stir fries because they don't tend to have a lot of flavour of their own, but what they do is absorb the flavour of the things that you're cooking with. If you have them dehydrated, we've got a few jars of them at home, so we pick them and dehydrate them, leave them in a jar that preserves them. If you have them that way, you can either rehydrate them to use them for cooking, or you could crumble them up and use them as a thickener. So if you did a soup, a stew, that kind of thing. So that's how we would tend to cook with them. Where to find them? Mostly you're going to find these on dead elder, but not always. And in fact, these ones are growing on a field maple. So I've also found them on sycamore, I found them on goat willow, I found them on beech, and once on, very bizarrely, on gorse. So they will grow on a variety of species, but I'd say 95% of the time that I find these, it's going to be on elder. So we'll wander off in a second and see if we can find some more of these growing on elder. This is elder. So it's not entirely dead. Some of these little branches are still alive. They're going to shoot again in the spring. This main stem is dead. What we've got growing up along here, lots more of the jelly ear. And this time it is dehydrated. So as I said a minute ago, in dry weather they tend to shrivel up, and you can store them that way. That's the easiest way to preserve them. Just in front of me, however, there's a branch on the ground. This is elder again, and we've got a whole bunch of jelly ears on here. So this one, for instance, if I just pick this, it's fairly evident from the mushroom why we would call it jelly ear. It looks like an ear and it feels like jelly. Hopefully you found this video to be useful. So if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, please do.